one for the weekend, probably. Lucky Peter played against. Alright. Okay. I saw an Inquisition on top, I put it on the bottom. I felt that getting that second land from Bridge or Spellskite is more important. But I liked it. I didn't have to worry about colors so much. I played that first in case my opponent was playing burn or something, so I can burn whatever they're playing off the field. I was kind of confused by that first turn swamp, and I could have burned off my opponent's Dark Confidant, but I didn't want to quite yet. I figured it might do some damage, more damage to my opponent than to me, and I didn't realize my opponent was playing green quite yet until I saw that. Because I got crap. So that means that my opponent's probably playing Abrupt Decays and or Pulse. Maelstrom Pulse. So that wasn't cool. So, and I also know my opponent may be playing, or is playing, Cryptic Commands. So I'm waiting to Surgical Extraction those Cryptics. That's the big thing here. Pulse and Abrupt Decay I can deal with using Spellskites. But, yeah, I grabbed the third land so I can play that Bridge, hopefully. And I'm just trying to mill like crazy to get another Cryptic into my opponent's graveyard so I can Surgical when they don't have enough blue mana or something to play it. And there's an Abrupt Decay gone, so I'm happy about that. I am worried about Snapcasters still, but I didn't play the Spellskite here because I didn't want to, like, if my opponent had a Maelstrom Pulse, then, you know, well, there's all my Spellskites. I figure it might be safer to hold it, so I can play both Bridge and Spellskite together. Yeah, I go ahead and play the Lantern because I know my opponent's going to counter that, and then that will allow me to Surgical Extraction all those Cryptics. And so I see Abrupt Decay in hand, Abrupt Decay, and I saw 2 Snapcasters. So now I just got to worry about 2 Snapcasters and 1 Abrupt Decay. But since I got the Spellskites, I should be alright. If my opponent, you know, I know that my opponent has the Damnation as well, so I got to worry about that. Because if I play Spellskite and Bridge, my opponent can Damnation, and then Abrupt Decay Bridge. So I do not want that. Fortunately, my opponent has been drawing so many cards. It's helping me mill them faster. My opponent tried to tap down my Glimmer Void. I didn't want that because I wanted the ability to use Shredder if I had to pay 5 and sack it. Go ahead and get that decay. So now I just got to worry about him drawing another Abrupt Decay, which he did. He knows he has to Damnation first. And then there's the Decay. But my opponent does not have a fast enough clock before I have mill, because I'm milling so many cards per turn. Yeah, and especially with the Spellskite out, it's just not going to happen. It's not fast enough. So, game 2. I sighted in a Pithing Needle and what are those called? Welding Jars for this match. Okay, so Duress, Surgical, and Lantern. I'm happy with it because I figure I can duress and then surgical one of the, you know, all the copies of like if I first turn duress and I get a what's it called, broke decay, get rid of all the decays, or first turn duress cryptic, get rid of all the cryptics, and so on. So I like it. I was worried my opponent was going to Thoughtseize here. There's a spell bomb. I'm not too worried about that. So now I got natural combo, and it's super. It turns into a really quick hand. So there's that cryptic. I did wait until my opponent's main phase to surgical. I figured my opponent might have drawn another cryptic. He did not. I did see 3 decays now, 2 still sabotage, and 2 snapcasters still. But now I know my opponent does not have a whole lot of threats going on in hand. So all I got to do is play out my hand. I wanted to keep that opal in hand because I figure it's not going to do me any good to play it, and I wanted to lure my opponent into playing discard spell, which would do nothing. There is a slight clock here I have to worry about, but not too worried. I grabbed the Shredder instead of the Needle. I mean, I could have grabbed the Needle, but I figure with Shredder I can either kill my opponent with his own Dark Confidants, or I can dig to a bridge. Or another Needle. I have 4 now, so... yeah, I'm milling myself because I don't need to worry about my opponent. That Ether Grid is amazing here. I'll wait for my opponent to draw with his Confidants to kill them. And to begin attack phase to kill them. My opponent does still have a clock, thanks to Garrote making wolves. But I'm still okay. I just gotta get a bridge quick. So that's what I'm digging for. I don't get one there, but I got a Welling Jar, so now I have more protection against decays, which are really one of the few things I have to worry about. That hurts. My opponent plays. I get another wolf. Digging more. I go ahead and get that bell. Allow me to dig even more, especially with that ancient stirrings on top. I can draw the stirrings, dig a ton, play stirrings for a ensnaring bridge. There's Ashiok, which is gonna not be cool to me. I'll wait until my opponent. Well, yeah, my opponent tries to decay my lantern. I regenerate it because that's what I need to dig to the bridge. Here's a bridge. Heck yeah. I'll go ahead and use Ether Grid to put Tamiyo down so that my opponent cannot draw a ton more cards. I wait for my opponent to use Tamiyo to try to tap down my bell so I can deal another damage to Tamiyo. Opponent is not going to be allowed to draw that Abrupt Decay. So I'm doing good now. I mean, with Bridge, I'm stabilizing. With Grid, I'm somewhat controlling the planeswalkers, but I did draw a Needle. So shut down Ashiok, go ahead and kill Tamiyo. Things are good. And my opponent knows it, and so quits. Because now I have a clock and my opponent doesn't, because my opponent's at 11 life and has no way to stop my Ether Grid. So yeah, it's good stuff. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That would have been 4 damage. My opponent would have had 3 turns to try to draw something without me intervening. So it was fun. Sultai Super Friends.